Hey everyone. This week I reflected on professional learning and who should really facilitate professional learning for schools, districts, educators, and organizations. I first want to make a distinction between professional learning and professional development. At least in my opinion, professional development is always something that was done to me. It's not something that I really was motivated and inspired to do. Professional learning, on the other hand, really is about our intrinsic motivation to grow and get better. So when we think about professional learning, I saw a little I wouldn't say debate, but back and forth on Facebook and Twitter a few weeks ago about who was best to lead professional learning. And there was a lot of conversation that it should be driven by this group or this person. And, a majority said, hey, we want it driven by people that are teachers, that are administrators, that are in classrooms. And that's great if we can facilitate that into their busy schedule. But when we think about professional learning and we think about how important it is, the research has shown that the most effective professional learning is ongoing and it's job embedded. So in that case, practicing teachers and administrators might not just have the time. And the conversation went on about, the validity and value of consultants versus those who are still in classrooms and schools. So I kind of reflected on this and I thought, well, who really is the best to facilitate professional learning? And it really matters or is determined by your needs. What do you need to get better? Who might be able to facilitate that? And I really thought about the work of Nick Saban. Nick Saban is not an educator. Nick Saban is a very successful college football coach at the University of Alabama. Now, the thing about Nick Saban is he's won 6 national championships, yet he has not played the game since the mid-'70s. So let's think about that. He has not played the game of football since the late '70s, yet he's been entrusted to run programs for years, for decades. He took LSU to a national championship, and now he's won 5 with Alabama, yet he has not played the game. The thing about Nick Saban is he's always learning, and he surrounds himself with amazing people. So in that case, it makes us really question, well, what do we want to get out of professional learning and who is best to facilitate that? So I came up with some questions that really can guide the conversation. So when you're thinking about investing in, going beyond one and done, ongoing job embedded, think about this when it comes to professional learning. How does the organization or consultant's experience align with your intended outcomes? It's crucial that each have the appropriate experiences to facilitate the work. Does the organization or consultant have evidence of success when it comes to improving outcomes? How can an outsider view move us forward to help us see what we're missing? And finally, is the intended work aligned to research and evidence on what actually works in schools? To put it blunt, has the person or organization actually implemented what they're going to train you on? So as we think about professional learning, utilize those questions, but think about how the work connects to standards, how it helps changes educators' knowledge, skills, disposition. Does it actually result in changing educator practice? And do the changes actually improve results? So it really is about us taking a critical lens to who we want facilitating the professional learning. I'm not the one to say that who's better. It could be a teacher, could be a practicing administrator, could be a consultant that's demonstrated efficacy in this area. It could be an organization that brings in research and has a team of people to see it through. But we have to take that critical lens if the goal is to improve outcomes. But again, when we look at the research over and over again, it's not drive-by, it's not one and done. It cannot be a great catalyst to start the program, of course. But quality professional learning is an investment. It's an investment in our people, our teachers, our administrators, but most importantly, professional learning is an investment in our learners. So we want to make sure we get it right. So when it comes down to deciding who you're going to invest in, look at the work of people like Nick Saban. Look at when we, invest so much money in professional sports, we're going to watch people leading teams that have not played in decades. Think about when you go to your favorite musical, your favorite play. You're watching people direct and orchestrate those performances that have not participated in a musical or play for years. So again, what do you want to get out of the learning experience? Who can most help get you there? And, as we look at some of these comments here, I love the distributed leadership, regardless of position, rank, or file. It really is, from professional learning, how can you model? How can you take people to where they need to be? Is it engaging? Is it authentic? Does it blend that nice mix of research with practical strategies that you can use tomorrow? Is there a coaching element? And when we think about research that's just come out recently, there's so much research that shows the number one factor in terms of student achievement is our teachers. So it's natural that when we think about professional learning, we should coach up our teachers, whether internally or externally. We need to coach up our administrators so that they're better in position to work with our teachers. So when it's all said and done, think about this, what are those best experiences that you've been a part of in professional learning? And how can your schools or districts improve professional learning to get better results? Till next time, have a great week, everybody.